You know what, brother?
Look, I told you I can't talk right now. I got hot geek shit to do.
That countdown starts out at like 3x speed and then slows to like
For real.
0.5 speed.
And it's also the tempo. The tempo is very like it starts. You're like, all right.
Yeah, exactly.
And then there's like this time dilation that happens, and you're like, wait, hold up, I got to get myself together. Did I go to the bathroom? I got to get. Do I have a bathroom? What happened? What's my hat?
Exactly.
With all that.
Oh my god.
Good day, everyone. Welcome to another episode of the Fandom Initiative. As always,
this is 2 live shows in back-to-back weekends. It's a vibe. It's a vibe.
It's a thing. It's a thing. It's a bop. Yeah, this is true. This is great. It was very much fun. Wow, we have a great show for you today, jam-packed. We're actually working on getting a studio band, but first we need a studio. So I don't know how it's going to work out. How are you doing, brother?
I'm good, brother. I'm good.
You doing good? All right.
Oh, yeah.
I was kind of excited about last week's show because I got to do it outside. You know how I love doing shows outside. So I was expecting to do another show this week outside. So I ended up getting like a big off citronella candle.
Yeah, I saw you.
And I got the spray.
I saw you begging for recommendations about citronella candles, bro.
Well, because I had no idea like which one. I was like, radius and such. Like, I had no idea. I never. And then what happens today? They decided to slip back into late winter, early spring. But it's okay because I get to wear sweatpants, so I'm not mad. And I get to go get my COVID shot today, my second one, so I'm good.
Yes.
But y'all don't care about that. Y'all don't care about my citronella candle. Y'all don't care about my old ass phone. Y'all don't care about that. Y'all don't care about that. Y'all don't care about that. You care about these introductions and the
incredible. Brought out a black slimline phone.
That ain't slim. That phone ain't slim, brother. Damn near rotary. So let's get the introductions out of the way, folks.
I can't.
The gentleman across from you virtually who can't with me. He is the cinema CEO. He is the cinema god. He is also one half of the tag team champions of the world, along with Lady Mina. Mina, who also co-hosts a podcast with Mawa called Mina and Mawa Politicking for the Culture. But Michael and Mina also have a podcast called the AMC A-Listers. Give it up to this gentleman who every time I hit that part, he goes to the omnipotent beard. This is Michael Williams.
What's up, yo? How's everybody doing this rainy Saturday?
Yeah, it's a very rainy Saturday, Memorial Day weekend too.
Yeah, that's what sucks.
Yeah.
Yeah. It decided to go back to wintertime for Memorial Day.
You know what? I live in Jersey, so I'm not mad because I live in a shore town. So I'm totally good with the people just not being anywhere near me.
Yeah, somebody's trying to tell people y'all out too much. Relax.
Yeah. Put that mask on too because I can smell you.
Exactly.
Myself, I am the hungriest man in the room. You can take that however you like. I also have a podcast which I host called the Hungry Bleak Podcast. So that would make me the Hungry Bleak Antonio Pomares. Thank you and welcome to everyone who has joined us today. We're going to have a fun show. It's going to be a great show. Are you ready, Mike?
I am.
Have you had your pre-workout? Are you all ready?
Yeah, I'm all ready, brother. All ready.
All right, cool. Also, notice the shirt. Shout out to Hiei. Y'all know Yu Yu Hakusho, that classic old-timey anime when they weren't really moving pictures. They were just pictures on a stone wall. Mad old. So, coming to the stage. Wait, did I just give a Def Jam entrance? Totally did. Awesome. Coming to the stage. Just really excited about her being on the show. I found out about this con, unfortunately, late because I wanted to have her on when her con was on before, didn't get it to life and such like that, what have you. Well, she's here today. We're going to have her on today. Everyone, please put your hands together or, just let someone put your hands together because we can't hear you clapping anyway, so it doesn't want to make a difference like this. This is Cerece Rennie Murphy, author and founder of VirtuousCon.
Hey, everybody.
Hey.
Awesome.
Good day, good day.
How are you doing today?
I'm fantastic. Thanks so much for having me.
Your kitchen cabinets look amazing. I love it. I love it. I love it. I love it.
Thank you. Where all the food will be eaten later. There you go. I know, I'm speaking your language.
Yes, exactly. You got to know where your bread is buttered. You got to know. And it's buttered on the side that's a little more toasted than the other side. You got to get that butter melted. Thank you so very much for joining us. Like I said, I wanted to have you on last time, didn't get to work out, timing, stuff like that. But this time I was like, no, got a chance. Hit it. Let's see what's going on. You said yes, and you're here. It's awesome. Are you ready to run through some geek culture topics with us from the week?
Let's hit it.
All right, let's do it. We're going to hit up movies, and we are going to go with the Eternals teaser trailer. Doesn't feel like a teaser trailer. Felt like just a regular trailer.
Yeah, it did.
And I see you, Marvel. Keep throwing teaser in there because you're going to throw like 20 more at us. I see you.
Yeah.
Cerece, what did you think of this trailer?
It was beautiful. You know, I haven't read the comic, but it made me want to. It was just, I loved seeing the diversity, seeing the sort of old and the new brought together. It looked really interesting. I'm looking forward to it, which I wasn't thinking I would. So, yeah, they got more of my money.
There you go. Michael. Sorry, I know you've got thoughts. Run
it. I loved it. Like this is one of the upcoming things I'm really excited about because Chloe Zhao is the director, and Chloe Zhao directed the Oscar-winning movie this year, Nomadland. I think her visual style is absolutely going to work for a movie like this. Like, she has a way of doing things very sort of what's the word I'm looking for? Her shooting style is very intimate, right? Like she pulls out kind of like the beauty and backgrounds as well as sort of the beauty of just people kind of like interacting with each other. Like you could kind of see that in that very end part of the trailer where they're all sitting and they're eating. I'm really excited to see how this is going to work within the structure of the MCU. I think it'll work. I think it's something that the MCU kind of needs. They kind of need a movie that's, you know, grand in scope, but also intimate at the same time, if that makes any sense. I'm not sure that does, but I think you know what I mean.
You need a movie like, because they've done just about every genre. Right. They even did, if you really want to include it with, this is the MCU extended, but you could even include a sitcom.
Yes.
When they were doing WandaVision. So they've it's almost like they're going through genres and like, I bet we couldn't do a sitcom. I bet you we can. Watch.
Yeah. So I'm not even sure what genre Eternals would hit. Maybe I want to say family drama, if that makes any sense. I don't know.
I'm getting, and correct me if I'm wrong here, I'm getting, for some reason, with that the scene where they're eating, why am I getting the Big Chill feel?
That's what I was. Yeah, that's what I was trying to say when I meant family drama, like movies like that, like Big Chill or
Saint Elmo's Fire. Like not the subject of the movie, but just like everyone being together.
Yeah,
you know what I mean.
The story is about these people interacting.
Yeah. So and I don't know. I mean, we've had interaction, but not like that intimacy, like Michael was saying. So I'm excited about it. I don't know very much about them as well. I haven't read a lot of it. But this will make me actually go in and read it because there's a story by Neil Gaiman, which is them. They don't have memory of who they are. So they end up being reminded by, I think, Icarus. might learn the character's name, and he comes and tells them each who they are, and they end up coming together. Mm-hmm. So maybe that might be it, because that's a good way to introduce them to us and introduce themselves. I don't know, what have you, but I believe as far as power structure and such goes, that the Eternals are above mutants. There's like the Celestials who created the Eternals, and then the Celestials also created like the metahumans and mutants and such, I think. But I'm excited to read and see where this goes. I want to read a bit more before I actually watch the movie, just so I know. But I'm kind of interested in seeing a topic that I know nothing about.
Yeah, absolutely.
Which is awesome.
Yeah.
So we go from Eternals and superheroes such like that to horror with The Quiet Place 2. I didn't watch. Wait, did I watch the trailer? I don't remember if I watched the trailer. I think I watched maybe a couple of snippets. I'm gonna be honest with you. I think I watched a couple of snippets. But I'm still excited to watch it. The first one was really something different, innovative. It was just really great. And that was John Krasinski's debut directing.
Yeah.
And didn't he write it too?
Yeah, I think he wrote it too.
He revised a script that was given to him and made it.
Okay.
New.
I mean, Cerece, like we were talking about this before, how we enjoyed it. But your fear is what exactly?
That it's not going to be as good, and then it's going to try to recreate. I guess my fear is it's a retread. Like I felt like the first story was complete and beautiful. And yes, you wonder like, okay, what are they going to do with it? But I can complete that sentence in my head. I didn't feel like I needed another story. And I'm just hesitant of Hollywood's desire that if it worked once, then we need to keep doing it again. And it sort of ruins it for you. So that's my fear. I don't know.
Which is understandable with sequels. And like you were saying, retreading old territory, that's completely understandable, because it does happen sometimes, unfortunately. Now, Michael, you're going to be watching it later today.
Yeah.
And this is only available in theaters, correct? This is not on any streaming service at all.
Only in theaters, yeah.
So Michael obviously has his own theater that's on his island, because he is a cinema god. He is a cinema CEO. When he enters the room, the tax bracket jumps like 9 spots. This man is not to be tangled with. We will be waiting for your words next week on how the movie is. I'm kind of excited in a sense of I want to see it just because I really enjoyed the first one, but a sequel again, I don't want to have like the same jump scares or stuff like that as the first one, I guess, if that is the way to say it. I don't know. What are your thoughts on the sequel? Do you think it's going to be as good or on par?
I mean, that's the best that I'm hoping for, is that it's on par. You know what I mean? I don't know that it will be better per se. It's hard to be better. Like, no one expected The Quiet Place when it came out. Like the Quiet Place is a movie that, honestly, like, and I know that part of the marketing for this movie is that they didn't want to put it on a streaming service, and they were trying to get people to go to the theater, unfortunately, post-pandemic, to go and kind of have that communal experience that the first one kind of created. Like, when I tell you seeing The Quiet Place in the theater that first time was just one of those rare things where people did not talk, did not pull out their phones, and were all engaged in this movie from start to finish. You know what I mean? So I don't know that you can kind of elicit that same kind of reaction the second time around, like, completely.
Yeah.
I think that's one of the things that I probably will be paying attention to in like my peripheral while watching the movie, is to see if people are really kind of engaged the way they were the first time.
Yeah.
I don't know. I mean, is it possible? Sure. Anything's possible. Do I think it's likely to happen? I doubt it. I just doubt it. Like, it's hard. Like Cherie said, it's hard. It's hard to kind of recreate that same thing unless you have a lot more story that we don't know about that you need to tell.
Right.
And part of it with The Quiet Place is that it tells that story. It doesn't waste time telling that story, and that story ends the way probably it should. You know what I mean? And then whatever else you either want us to be curious about or want us to think about can kind of be summed up in your head. It doesn't need another hour and a half worth of exposition. You know what I mean? To finish it. Like, I don't know. Like, I don't know. Like, to me, for me, and this is just me. As a moviegoer, once I know John Krasinski's character, unfortunately, spoiler alert for people who haven't seen the first one, is offed. And it's just, it's just his wife and what's left of, the other survivors. I don't really need anything else. You know what I mean? Like, that's it.
Yeah, no, that's totally true. Irene, don't get mad at me. That's what it says. Don't get mad at me. Let's say this may be the best movie experience I have ever had. I'm worried as well, Charisse. I don't want it to ruin the original.
Yeah.
Which is the same. I think because we're going to be back in theaters, I think people will be more apt to focus on the screen and not be on their phones just because they haven't had this experience in such a way. So hopefully, fingers crossed, being positive.
Yeah.
Maybe. So yeah, so I'm hoping it's good. We'll be waiting for Michael and Mina's review because I trust the AMC A-listers. If they say watch something,
yes,
you better watch it, or else Michael's going to have his helicopter fly him off the island, and then he'll land on the penthouse of his huge sky-rise Wayne Towers type building, and then he'll come and get you.
You are hilarious
in his Tesla hovercraft for you. Next up, we're going to do streaming and TV news. Cruella it's in theaters and it's also premiering on Premier Access on Disney Plus. This is the origin of Cruella de Vil from 101 Dalmatians, played by, why am I forgetting the young lady's name? Emma Stone. Yes, I don't know why. I almost said Amy from Superman.
Amy Adams.
Yeah, I don't know why I almost thought that they're not even related. They're not even like living on the same block. I don't know why. I think because I'm thinking of the Netflix movie that she's in. For some reason, that movie's been on. I haven't watched it, but it's been on my head like really heavy. I don't know why.
I'm curious to know what you think when you finish with it. I've seen it already.
Well, after I take my shot tonight, I'll take a shot.
What movie is this? I'm sorry.
It's
the Woman in the Window.
Yes, Woman in the Window. Yeah,
on Netflix.
Okay.
It came out like 2 or 3 weeks ago. I want to say.
Yeah, 2 weeks ago. About 2 weeks ago.
So Cruella, this is her origin. It almost looks like The Devil Wears Prada, which isn't a bad thing. That's not. I'm
glad you said that.
It just looks like it.
I mentioned that to Amina like 2 weeks ago. I was like, the vibes from this movie make me think of The Devil Wears Prada. It's very much kind of like that story in a way.
It looks like it.
Yeah.
Have you seen the trailers or anything, Charisse?
I haven't, but that makes me curious. Although, does it look better than The Devil or worse than The Devil? Because I thought
it's not good or bad. It's just like Michael was saying, the vibe of it because of how she walks in.
I think it's a spin on The Devil Wears Prada by Disney. Except, what if the what's her name? What's that actress's name? What if Anne Hathaway's character had gone the way of her boss?
Oh yeah. You know what else this gives me a vibe of when I saw her at the sewing machine? Batman Returns. Where Michelle Pfeiffer's at the sewing machine making the Catwoman. And again, that's not a bad thing because they're good things because they're iconic because you still keep thinking, oh wow, because when she's at Michelle Pfeiffer stole that movie. I'm gonna be honest with you.
Yes, she did.
She stole that movie.
She did.
But seeing her like creating the suit and just feverishly creating it after falling into a mound of cats, I guess. I don't know when she fell out the window. It just has that feel. I do kind of want to see this. I don't know why. Maybe it's because of the fashion aspect, which fashion actually does interest me. I know that seems odd as a guy who wears mostly black. But fashion does kind of interest me because the intricacies and the detail and such like interest me. I kind of want to see it. I'll wait for it to be free. No offense on Disney Plus. I'm gonna be honest with you. Sorry. And I wonder if it's like kid friendly because 101 Dalmatians is more of a children's story. So I don't know if this is going to be for kids. I don't know.
I'm sure they've made it kind of walk that line, right? Like where it is for kids, but it also draws in the adult audience. So, yeah.
Okay. So next up, we have the continuation of Lucifer on Netflix. I'm quite far behind.
Yes, as well as me. Yes.
I'm halfway through last season or at the beginning of this season. I can't remember.
Okay.
Cerece, have you watched any of Lucifer?
I've never seen it.
Oh,
I know. I'm sorry.
It's cool. It's cool.
Behind.
You're out.
It's good though. You should watch it.
I know.
You should watch it, Cerece, though. It's good. It's good.
It is since it's been on Netflix, is it because it started out on Fox, so it's like 20 something episodes for the first 3 seasons, which to me is too long. I don't like seasons that long. I just don't. But then when it goes on Netflix, it's like 10 episodes a season, 10 or 13 episodes a season. And they've done 2 seasons so far. And it's really good. It is. It's kind of a police procedural. Obviously, you have a crime. You have to figure it out. But then you add in the fact of the supernatural, like kind of playing behind it. And it has a very there's a lot of dark humor. Then some light humor as well. There are some touching family moments, which is odd to say for a show that pretty much showcases Lucifer Morningstar. But it's a really entertaining series based on what was DC's imprint. Oh my God, I can't remember the imprint that used to do the more edgy stuff that they got rid of.
Black Label? Not Black Label.
No, this was before Black Label. Because it was 100 Bullets, Why the Last Man, like a bunch of those more mature adult-rated comics, I want to say, with mature subject matter were more geared toward adults. This was one of their titles, and it was part of the Sandman, stuff like that, all that world. It is a really good, interesting thing. And once you get past those long, first 3 seasons, I'm sorry, 20 episodes is too much.
I agree. Too much. I agree.
I have things to do. I have laundry to not fold. Seriously. It becomes better. I think this is the last season. And I think this is the end of the last season because they did this season in 2 parts. So this is the second part of it. It premiered this yesterday. So if you can go check it out. I enjoyed it, but I'm just not up for it because there's so much to watch and so much to read, and I can't keep track. Like I said, I have laundry to not fold, folks. And doing all sorts of stuff.
Yeah.
Also on Netflix, we have Eden, which premiered yesterday or Thursday. I can't remember which one. This is the story of it's an animated movie, which Netflix is really sticking to their animated credo, I guess to say that they want to do more animated stuff. They really are, because a couple weeks ago they had what was it? I'm trying to remember the name of that movie. Somebody versus the Mitchells.
Yeah.
Or Morrison's versus they did that, which was kind of a family comedy. So this one is it's a girl named Eden, and she's the last human on Earth, and robots are after her, but she was raised by robots, so they're fighting with her. So it looks like kind of a family kind of a title. Again, I'm for this. I love the diversity of projects that they're trying to do and put everything out to get a little bit. It's like you have Lucifer, but then you have Eden, but then you'll have Castlevania, but then you'll have Queen Sono. Stuff all over, and the Santa Fe diet. You'll have things all over that hit everybody's sweet spot. That's what you should have. Different projects.
Yeah.
On Hulu we have MODOK, which premiered last week. Didn't even realize it. I'm gonna be honest with you. I don't know what to tell you. I heard it's funny. This is the part of the show where I kind of just put my hands up in the air, folks. I'm sorry. I don't. It's
a lot.
Yeah.
There's almost too much. Almost, but I don't want to say that because then there were points where remember when we only had 5 channels and we had to get up to go change the channel for our parents because they didn't want to get up. So still holding resentment for that, honestly.
Is this the end of their, well, I shouldn't say the end of their agreement with Marvel because they're all the same company, but
I want to say yes.
That's the last Marvel TV, old Marvel TV.
Well, they weren't doing any more of the animated, right? Because they had this one that was supposed to be Tigress and...
Yeah, I think that got canceled.
Damn, that was one I was excited to see. Jeez, okay.
I'm pretty sure it did.
Fair enough. Okay. I got nothing, folks. Sorry. On HBO Max, we have the 4th season of In Treatment. I want to see this season because Uzo is on there.
Watch it, brother. I've watched the first week so far. They put up the first week is 4 episodes. So all 4 for the first week are up.
Oh, wow. Is this a show that you've seen, Cerece? I haven't seen it either. But knowing that Uzo is on there makes me want to watch.
I watched the old one, the previous seasons when Gabriel Byrne was the therapist.
Okay.
I never finished it. I never finished it because that was a commitment. That was like every week was 5 episodes. And it went a while. But
wait, so it's multiple episodes a week?
Yes.
So it's almost like an actual therapist where they do. Oh, that's the. Oh, yes. Okay.
Except
that is kind of.
And I don't want to ruin it for you, but there is something in this season with Uzo that at the end of the first week. That normally would have been her being a therapist, seeing a therapist for herself.
Okay.
But there is a switch up that they did this time with Uzo that's really interesting. Like it's still without me ruining the whole thing, it's still kind of a therapy session, but it's not a traditional therapy session. I'll just say that.
It's not her having therapy with her parole officer because it actually shows that there's a link to Orange is the New Black, is there? That was a long way to go for a dumb joke. I'm sorry, folks.
It's not. It's not. But I actually love it. I think Uzo's really good in this show. And I was kind of intrigued when I saw the trailer that they had, because I had not even heard that it was coming back. I literally saw like a trailer literally 2 weeks before the premiere with Uzo Aduba, and I'm like, what? I'm like, they're bringing back In Treatment? And then when I watched it, I was like, oh, okay, I could kind of see her in this show. Like, she's really good. She's a really good actress.
Yeah, she is.
And I like what they're doing with it. I'm curious to see how this all ends for this season.
Just the fact that it's focusing on a Black therapist, a Black female therapist, is what got me. And the fact that it's Uzo.
Yes.
You know what I mean? Like, those things made me go, okay. I mean, I like Gabriel Byrne, but it didn't interest me. I was like, I just don't. I can watch that on any show. But to see that, I was like, okay, cool. And for her to, again, dumb joke, but to show her going from, well, not her, but her portrayals going from a role that people really know her for as Orange and the New Black and being a convict, and then you go to the other end of the spectrum and show her as a Black woman, a therapist, and treating all these different patients. That interests me. Like seeing that, you know what I mean? And putting her in another light is just cool to me. Yeah. We also have on HBO, we have Pause with Sammy J. This is Sammy J, the comedian, has a talk show now. I watched her special on, I want to say it was Netflix. Oh, I want to say her special was on. And I enjoyed it. It was funny. I love comedy. I'm a fan of stand-up of comedians. And the fact that this is on a streaming service interests me, and having a different perspective, and having it be a queer Black woman. I believe she identifies as femme. I have to double check that. But that just interests me, and I want to see where that goes. And in fact, again, a streaming service means I won't have to watch commercials, which is awesome because I don't like commercials.
True.
Comics, I'm going to run these down, folks, because there's a lot of comics out. My God. We have Abbott, 1973, issue number 5 from Boom Studios. Go get this, read it. Everything I'm telling you, just go get and read it. Just don't even bother. Just go to your comic store right now. I mean, take your kids if you got them, or get a babysitter. I mean, either way. Something is Killing the Children, number 16 from Boom. Yes, we have a new Mr. Miracle series from DC Comics. This is written by Brandon Easton, who is a great writer. I enjoy him immensely. We have Robin number 2, which came out this week as well. We have from DC. We have the other History of the DC Universe number 4 from Black Label, which is an imprint of DC. This one actually focuses on Renee Montoya, who becomes the Question after Vic Sage. I love how they're doing these issues, and this comes out just in time, wonderfully for Pride, which is in June. Awesome stuff. We have Bitter Root number 13. This doesn't even need an explanation, folks. Go grab it. What the hell? Philadelphia number 13 makes its return. Love this book. Black horror, Philadelphia vampires, altered history. Grab it. The Old Guard, Tales Through Time, number 2. This is also through Image. Do I have to say it? I'll say it again. Grab it. Shadowcraft, number 3 from Image. Yes. 3 Moons, number 3 from Image. Yes. Champions, volume 1 from Marvel. Get it. Shadow Man, number 2. I'm on the fence, but grab it. I trust Cullen Bunn, but I need something more from Shadow Man. The last 2 series have not been. That's what I feel about them. That's how I describe it. I can't even give you a word. I'm sorry, folks. Really. And that's everything for comics. Yes, I went through them incredibly quickly, but you can also always check our pages on Tuesday. Fandom Initiative. I will give you pictures of the books that I say to go check out. And there are plenty more that you probably see as well. So, with all of that out of the way, because it was a busy week, there was a lot going on. But you know what else is going on? VirtuousCon. That's going to be going on June 10th. The segues are slamming today, like a fresh grilled cheese sandwich with Gouda. VirtuousCon is going to be on Juneteenth. For those of you who don't know, that is June 19th, which is a very apropos day. Cerece, tell us about VirtuousCon, please.
Yes. So VirtuousCon is an online sci-fi and comic culture convention that will be taking place June 19th and 20th, celebrating the best in independent creators and creators moving stories of people of color, Black people in particular, forward in new and innovative ways. And we're just so excited to have another chance to do this. We had one in February for Black History Month. Mm-hmm. It was really our big launch. And it was just a wonderful experience. It's interactive. It's not a bunch of Zoom calls. I know it's hard to do that. We're like, yeah. We're like, it's different. It's different. There are virtual booths. They're going to have artists that you can actually meet and buy directly from and talk to about their art and what they're doing and why they're doing it. We have a floor show. We have 3 panel rooms that are different buildings. We've got like virtual buildings going on, but you get to sit and maybe talk to your virtual neighbor while you're waiting for a panel. It's a different platform that we use, and it allows for real interaction, which is what we've been missing from the con scene this past year. So that's what VirtuousCon is, and I hope everyone will come check it out.
Very nice.
That's awesome. What spurred you to I mean, because everyone's having virtual cons now, obviously because of our situations, and I've been just enamored by them, and I love the idea. I love the fact that I'm not going to be late. I mean, I can be late, but I mean, it's right there. It's not like I have to wait in line, so it's great.
Right.
What was it that spurred you to even like come up with VirtuousCon?
Well, like you, I attended a couple of virtual conventions, and I love the panels, and I just miss it. I go to like half a dozen cons a year normally, and I just love that interaction. And while the panels were great, what I saw was missing was the interaction for independent creators. How we sell our work. I'm an independent author. Mm-hmm. 9 times out of 10, nobody knows who we are. So how we sell our work is we go to a convention, we set up a table, and we talk to people about what it is we do and why we do it and why we love it, and hear what they love to read or interact with, and then we find a fit. So I wanted to find a space that allowed independent creators to do that, which I saw was kind of missing. We had links and other things, but we need to talk to people, because if links sold stuff, we would all stay home. They need to hear from us. And so I was looking for a platform that would allow a fan to come in and actually talk to an independent creator and buy directly from them, just like you would at an in-person show. And so that was the guiding principle behind looking at different platforms and seeing which one would allow us to do that. And then the panels I knew I could build on top of that. So that was sort of what I saw was missing in the market. But also, last year was a very difficult year on a number of levels, not just the pandemic, but looking at Black and brown people just being brutalized over and over and over again. And one of the things that I'm so inspired by independent creators and the creators that I know is that we are telling stories that inspire, stories that elevate. And as I was watching this and trying to figure out what to tell my kids about all this ugliness that I was seeing, I just kept thinking about how much I can come to the creations from my independent creators and find something that will be uplifting, that is not a mad, bad, sad story that ends mad, bad, sad. But a story that elevates and shows what I know to be true of the Black community, which is we rise despite anything that stands against us. I mean, it is the story of our survival in the West. And so I started to think about what can I do, rather than sort of despair in this moment. How we have survived and thrived is always by building our community, despite whatever is going on. And I thought, what of this can I take? That's what I need to do. How can I help the creators who are telling these stories that are about our future, that are about building? How can I elevate those? And VirtuousCon was the answer to that for me.
Thank you. I mean, first off, yeah, that was Michael and myself during that time. We were going on IG Live because we didn't know like how to really do a podcasting at that time. We were still our feet were stuck in the mud. We really didn't know like which direction we were going, and we kind of just started. I mean, we were talking geek culture, but we just started letting out all of our pain and anger and sorrow and dread was out there. We just went through the Wi-Fi and just put it out there. So you saying that's part of the spark that built the fire for this definitely resonates and hits. And also wanting to create something and saying, okay, I'm hurt. The pain is there, but how can I process it, heal from it, move on? And that's a beautiful thing to do, to create some. And like saying, we do build from our pain, our suffering, our sorrow, our dread, our anger. Really does fuel us. Do you see VirtuousCon being something that, even when things are clear and set and such like that you will continue to do virtually, or will you possibly do in person or a hybrid? What do you think you might be able to do once things are more clear and settled as far as the pandemic goes?
I'd like to keep it virtual because it can feel a different need. I don't want to compete. There's no need to compete with in-person conventions. They're awesome. Everybody should go. But there are pockets where there aren't a lot of conventions. Like, for example, at the end of the year or in February, which is one of the reasons why we did it. In February, you have product, you have work that you want to get out there, but there's not a lot going on. VirtuousCon can be a great cost-effective option for fans to meet creators and for creators to sell their work and interact with their fan base. So I see that there will be a space for VirtuousCon. And as far as, a hybrid or in person, we'll see what happens. I mean, I'm open to it evolving, but I do really like the idea. In February, we had people from Australia who would have never come to any convention in the US. We had people from England. We had people from all over the world. And I love the idea of us being limitless in our reach. I love that idea. And so I think even as things go back to a sort of newer normal, there's a space where we can come together and we're not bound. And I think that VirtuousCon and other virtual conventions can provide that. I'm not the only one, but this is, just my story. But I think that's the role that we can continue to play.
Yeah, Cerece. Like, first I want to congratulate you on VirtuousCon and also thank you at the same time, because I think, I've had these conversations with my uncle, who, for lack of a better term, is the person who kind of got me into going to Comic-Con in general, right? Like, Comic-Con had been around for a while. I'd always kind of wanted to go, but never really took the time to research getting tickets or anything. And he initially bought tickets for me and my brother, oh God, 12 years ago now at this point.
Ooh.
And we first started going. So I think that these are conversations I have with my uncle all the time about, the independent creators and the people who are in Artist Alley at New York Comic-Con and, don't necessarily have the reach of, the big two or a movie studio or something like that. Like, and I almost feel like I say this every year when it's over. When all the fun is over, I'm more or less concerned about, the people in Artist Alley or the independent artists who don't necessarily get to enjoy the bounce that comes after New York Comic-Con, right? Like, they can enjoy the bounce while they're there, but then that bounce kind of goes quiet after for a while, right? Unless you, the person who goes to New York Comic-Con does your homework and gets cards from these people and contact information and things like that, right? So I think one of the things when I read about VirtuousCon is that it's a great idea, and I applaud you for wanting to keep it virtual, right? Because I think that kind of helps not only the people who are familiar with these artists, these independent artists and things like that, but it, like you said, it unlocks this thing internationally so that other people around the world can kind of understand what these people do, what they are, able to, give them directly and things like that. And it almost makes me feel like there is this kind of thing that these independent artists can go to and continue to thrive after a big show or between big shows, or if they don't want to necessarily go to a big show, they can, have exclusives for VirtuousCon or things like that. So it's just, it's a great idea. Really. It really is. And I applaud you for, taking that step, that other people maybe not necessarily want to take that step for.
Well, it's a lot. Well, first of all, thank you. I mean, it's a lot. There are a lot of reasons not to do this. Like, well, I have an amazing team, which is the only way it happens. But you're exactly right. That question of, it's wonderful when we all get together. at these cons, but after the con, it's really difficult to find us.
Yeah.
I want to solve that problem.
Yeah.
And I want to solve it on an international scale, because there are people all over the world that want what independent creators are putting out there.
Yeah.
Because they are unique stories of inclusion, diversity. I mean, that's a thing in the industry, but keep in mind, independent creators have been of all colors, of all races, have been including, have been putting diverse characters and complex stories out there forever. In fact, that's probably why they're independent, because when they try to go somewhere else, they were like, that's a little complicated. So literally, there is it's not a tiny audience. There is a wide audience for what independent creators do. We just need to solve the problem of helping people find us.
Yep.
I believe in this community so much. It has given me so much. I would not have a career. I would not be 11 books in if it wasn't for independent creators showing me how to do this when there's no way you should be able to do it.
Right.
And so I'm really excited about solving that problem. I believe that we can. And what's exciting about having it virtually is that the barriers of cost are just so reduced. Our vendor fee is, if you get the early bird special, it's $80 for both days and $130 for both days at regular price. And we don't have any plans to significantly up that, because I know what it means to make your booth fee back. So I want to keep the cost low so that people can continue to reach an audience that is wider and wider and wider. And, we have a great production team and a great marketing team continuing to try to get the word out there. Thank you guys so much for helping me get the word out there so that people can come. But that's exactly the problem I'm trying to solve, Michael, with VirtuousCon.
Yep. I mean, that's one of the things I was talking to. I forgot who it was. I was talking to someone about it and saying, well, you know what? Well, it was actually last week when we were doing a show with TJ, talking about the fact that the one positive about the stay-at-home part and stuff like that is that we all started finding more and more out about being able to connect virtually. Because before that, I would have been looking at this like it was a peanut butter and jelly sandwich. I'd be like, all right, so where do I put like the mayo on this thing? Like, is it something I eat? Is it something I do? So, and everything's so much user friendly because they know that we're all just trying to connect with someone in some way, shape, or form, whether it's through a con, whether it's family, whether it's friends. And the fact of you wanting to keep it this way and continue it is easier, not as stressful, because the form, like I've never done for a table, but I've done for like pro and press.
Yeah.
And Michael can tell you every damn year when we would fill it out for our previous show, the anxiety, and we would all go to Michael like he was the teacher asking him for questions like before the test.
Yeah.
So do I carry the one with this problem, or is there a remainder? Why is there a remainder here? We would do that. And it was very stressful. So to be able to just be able to log in, do whatever, and that interaction between the creator and the person, and to have that, to have that same feel of giving them your money directly, even though if you go through their website, you're doing it, but actually giving them the money directly and saying yes, and seeing the person's face, being able to do that is a really cool thing. And that's one thing that I have noticed about the indie community is that it's like it helps build. Everybody helps each other build. I mean, there are some that, yes, but for a majority, everybody's trying to help each other out and trying to, let me help you out with this. Oh, like even Kickstarters I've seen, they'll group together. Well, this book or this, okay, you got Kickstarter, put this book in there, and cons like this and such, even helping to boost each other up, and creators who are part of it saying, I'm a part of this. Check this out. We ourselves will have, like, once the show's posted up, so that we'll have the link in there for VirtuousCon for you as well. And it's a beautiful thing to see more and more cons that are for indie and that are like people of color driven. It's beautiful. The one that I know of the most it's because I'm here in Jersey, is the Schaumburg show, a Black Comic Festival.
Amazing.
Which is every year gets more and more packed.
Yeah.
Like at a certain point, I'm just hopping in people's pockets. Like I'm not even walking down the floor. I'm just in people's pockets because I'm like, I'm small. Their pockets are big. Cool. I'm just gonna hop from pocket to pocket until I get where I want to go. That's kind of what this feels like to me, and I love the feeling of the Schaumburg show. I always joke about it being tight in there because it is tight in there. It is, but I love that feeling. So the fact of being able to have that same feeling virtually.
I'm trying.
Like helps a lot because you don't have, there's not the stress of getting there early. Again, the certain conveniences, you don't have to get up early. If you want to take your kids with you, you don't have to wrangle them, get everybody something to eat like beforehand. You have to go to the bathroom. You go, all right, go.
No $10 hot dogs at the show.
Exactly.
New York Comic Con. Look, there are parts I love. I've talked about the parts I love, but there are parts I'm like, I could do without that. I'm gonna be real. So to have that, and also the fact of, I love the fact that it's one of a couple of, I only know of 2 others, and that just could be because my scope of knowledge is not as large. But I know of 2 other cons that are created, founded, and headed by women of color. So to add another round in the chamber is beautiful.
Well, thank you. Well, there are.
Have that.
Thank you so much. No, there are people who've been doing this longer than I have, and supporting this same community, and it's amazing. It's amazing. So, that's actually where the name for VirtuousCon comes from. That virtuous circle that you were talking about of people helping people. That's how I got the name for VirtuousCon.
Nice.
Because it's true. Independent creators will rally around each other. We all buy each other's stuff. We're just trying to make our booth fee so we get enough money so we can go and buy each other's stuff. It's a beautiful thing. And I remember we did a little beta launch with 15 artists in October. And it was just one hour panel and then 2 hours of floor show. And really what I was just trying to do is just test the platform, try to break it, see what worked, what didn't work. And it was so funny. In that last 15 minutes, it was beautiful. It was just what happens at a con. It's about to end. Everyone wants to break down and go home. And we're running, like we're literally opening tabs and like running to people's booth. It was just the most beautiful, heartwarming thing because that's what it's about. That's so that's sort of where the name comes from. Is that virtuous circle that I've benefited from, and I want to pay it forward for all the people who have stopped what they were doing to help me because I was clueless and didn't know what was going on. They were like, no, this way, I'll help you. And that has been going on forever. I say when I go to a con, cons renew my faith in humanity. Every time I go. And it's true. You listen to the news and you're like, oh, we hate each other. Like, it's just awful. And then you go to a con, and I've had really good experiences. I know some people have had terrible experiences, but for me, I can't say enough about that sort of group kindness. I don't even know what it is. It's just maybe we're all geeks. We're all together. We all know we're weird. So like, that's the baseline. The baseline is you're going to be different. You're going to be outside whatever the norm is, but you get celebrated for that.
Yes.
At the convention. That's a good thing. And there have been so many examples. I could go on and probably make myself cry about things that I've seen at a convention that I've never seen anyplace else in terms of just basic human decency and kindness. For people who are just like, you probably want to run from if you see them in a dark corner because they're all cosplayed out as the devil. But then there's some older lady, you know what I mean? I remember, I'll take this one, and this is just a tiny one. And maybe 2. Okay. So there's this older lady who's there with her grandson. She's just like, oh my God, I'm just trying to hold on. And it's a line of cosplayers, everybody looking all weird. She's in the back with me and she's like, I have to go to the bathroom. And I don't think I can hold it. It's New York Comic Con, so lines a million years long. And I said, go up to the front. She's like, oh, do you think? I said, I promise you. Anywhere else, I don't know. Here, they're going to let you go right in. And she went in and she came out. She was like, oh my God, everybody was so nice. I'm like, yeah. Oh, we look weird, but we gushy on the inside. That's what but it was just, yeah. Oh, and then one of my favorite, most recent, not recent because of COVID stories was I was in the small press section, and that time of the con where everybody's there, you start to see sort of it's like cows. Everybody's just sort of moving out. Your feet aren't actually moving. You're tired, and everybody's sort of like, I need a break. Anyway, there was this young woman who was in a wheelchair, dressed as Bene Gesserit. I have a picture. She looked so amazing. So amazing. And she turns into the aisle, which is just jam-packed. And without anyone saying anything, the sea just parts. Like the minute one person sees her, like literally everything moves. And she just rolled right through. But I had to stop her because I had to get a picture because dude. And she looked amazing. And it just, and like no words were spoken. And then she just comes, and then when she was through, everything just closed up. And I just thought, I don't know, we fight on the bus for a seat. People won't get up for you. Yeah, anyway, I could just go on.
Yeah.
Well, no, but that's very true. Yeah, at a con, it's the one place. I mean, your 9-to-5 life can be whatever. You can have your work, your stress, what have you. But when you go there, that's your one place to just show out, to just be, just
who you are.
Let that flag go. And you'll have people who will fly in from X place wherever. Like that's one of the times in New York where you'll see people from wherever. You'll see people from wherever, but that week of Comic-Con.
Yeah.
Now it's New York, so you're going to see some wild stuff regardless. So you like, yeah, that's New York. But at New York Comic-Con, you let it go even more.
Yeah.
Because you'll see people, like when I'm on the train from Jersey, I'll see everybody dressed up and I'll go, yep, that's my people. We're all going to the same place. And and as you all get off, it's this sea of colorful costumes rounding the corner, and you see their badges are already out. And it's, oh, geez. Wow, this is making me really just want to go to New York Comic-Con so goddamn bad. But what have you, we've had that discussion. But it is a beautiful thing. And you do see a lot of, and there are horrible things that do happen at cons. I'm not saying that there are, and we aren't, there are. But there are these moments when you'll see just beautiful, and you'll see someone who might get made fun of for this particular act every day at work, every day at home. Why do you wear that? Why do you do this way? But when they're at the con, you become almost a damn celebrity. Everybody wants to take your
that same thing. Yes, it's just beautiful.
It's like, oh, like every day they, whatever. But then they come there and they're dressed as Venom, and what, can I get a picture? And there's maybe a Spider-Man will walk by because there's like 1,000 Spider-Man.
Right.
And then there's a Gwenpool. Then you get this group shot of all these different characters from Spider-Man. Or you'll have the Venom, and you'll have maybe Princess Leia, and you'll have maybe Poe Dameron, and you'll have maybe I don't know, Superman, and they'll all come together again. Random characters that have nothing to do with each other at all. And the same picture. And it's like, where else can you do this? I mean, well, probably San Diego Comic-Con in LA, but we ain't in LA. We're here.
Right.
So it's that beautiful feel. Cons are just this bonding experience, and it gets better every year because at first we were all like, there wasn't really much there. Then every year gets better and better, and that's what you start knowing people, and you start going, oh wow, how'd you like the book? It was great. What have you? Then you see someone come along with a family, they're introduced to the book, and it's so on and so on.
Absolutely
keeps building, and it really is beautiful. It really is.
I mean, I saw that in February in little ways that I wasn't expecting. Like you had people bringing their kids on and touring the different booths, and like, oh, it's so great. My kid got to meet this artist. I mean, you saw people helping other people navigate the person who watched the video on what you're supposed to do, the person who didn't. And they're and the lounge area, like, no, turn on your camera this way. Like, again, it just warmed my heart. It just warmed my heart. I can't even explain it. We had a DJ do an after party DJ Black Icon was generous enough to do that for us after the show on Saturday. And just having people like in the comments section just talking about the music or what they loved. I mean, as we were just hanging out together, it was really, I'm very honored by the experience and excited about what it can continue to be.
That is awesome. And I'm very excited. Like I'm usually excited for Juneteenth anyway, because it's Juneteenth.
Right.
And I like to show out. But for people who want to get in contact, who want to find information about it, what information can you give them right now that they can find out about VirtuousCon? If they want to, are you still accepting vendors?
So we have decided to extend it another
Awesome.
week. So yes, go to virtuouscon.com, click on vendor. You'll see you have to sign up on a mailing list. We will send you the application. If you don't see it, just check your spam, because Gmail has not been our friend this time. Go to promotions or spam. It's there. Fill it out, and we are approving applications as fast as we get them.
That is awesome. And if someone would like to partake of one of your novels, where would they go?
CereceRennieMurphy.com. You can read samples of my work. You can buy directly from me or Amazon, Barnes & Noble, wherever you like to buy books. My books are there. So
awesome. We will have the links for both of these in the episode description on YouTube, as well as on the podcast as well. So you can go and get all the information that you want, and so you can be there June 19th, those who don't know. Because some people don't know. So
that's right. And all are welcome.
Yeah, yes, all are welcome. And look, yesterday somebody was like, hey, what are you doing June 19th? And on my birthday I said, Juneteenth? What? And they were like, oh, this part. And I was like, yeah, I'm not going. I'm going to be like, even though I could go and do it virtually, I'm trying to be home, relax, chill, eating a sandwich, and being a part of VirtuousCon. That's what I'm trying to do. That's what I'm trying to do.
Amazing panels. I'm so excited. I mean, I thought February's program was just amazing and beyond anything I could have imagined. And I'm so excited about the people who have come to be a part of this. We also have a masterclass series for independent creators who are trying to up their game in comics, writing, books, whatever. We've got somebody, Antonio Bandela, is going to be teaching you how, as an independent creator, to create your own audiobooks. Like everything, we're doing a whole bunch of things. It's running both days with the other panels that are just going to be amazing. We got a panel on spirituality and anime, and a panel on Black writers and Black creators in the writing room with Mark Bernardin and folks who have been writing some of the most innovative stuff that you have seen. Animation creator. I'm just so excited. So excited.
I mean, I'm looking at my watch now. Is it Juneteenth yet? Because I'm trying to do this right now. I'm trying to check this out now.
Thank God, because we have so much behind the scenes to do. But it's coming up. No, if it was tomorrow, we would not be on this call.
No,
because my hair would be looking crazy. So this is my pre-show face and my after the show face.
Okay, well, whichever face that you choose to use at the time, we appreciate it. It's so awesome. Michael, I know I asked you this last week, but I'm gonna ask you again, brother. What would you rate this show out of 1 out of 10? How would you rate today's show?
12, brother. 12.
My God. Oh my God. Oh my God. This brother.
The tax bracket went up as soon as she came on.
Whoa. Gimmick infringement, brother. Gimmick infringement. Hold on. Michael once again breaking the scale. I don't know. This Michael is a generous measurer of guests and such. I don't know if that's even the title. That didn't even make no sense. It didn't. Whatever. Don't matter. That is our show today, folks. I just so excited. Cerece, do you have any last words for today's folks?
Come and be inspired. the creators that we have on the floor show and the panels are just elevating stories of all people. And that's so exciting. Oh, the narrative that's outside that is mad, bad, sad. Come shut all that out and be inspired.
And the show just went to 15, brother.
I was about to say,
and the show just went to 15.
Look at you breaking the scale. We need more scales. We need to buy scales in bulk, brother, because we're gonna start breaking them. Honestly, yeah. Thank you so very much. This has been Cerece Rennie Murphy of VirtuousCon. So appreciative. Like I said, we're gonna have links for VirtuousCon and for you to partake of her novels and such. You said you have 11 novels out there.
11 novels and short stories, but not all of them are published yet. I'm working on 2 right now.
So y'all better get this stuff now while she's working on the new stuff, because you want to be up on whatever she's got going.
That's right.
All right. Brother, do you have any last words for the people?
I want to thank Cerece for being on the show, because this has been one of our best shows that we've ever had, I think.
I mean, a 15. That's
and yeah, I mean, support VirtuousCon and also continue to be good to each other.
Yes. Please.
Myself, I'm going to change what I normally say because I'm a little tired of it.
Okay.
Look, I'm not going to change this part. Do the best you can with what you got, because it's all you get.
Yep.
But keep washing your hands. Weather's getting nice. And fellas, start putting lotion on your knees, please. Just knees and elbows
and ankles.
And the ankles.
Oh my gosh, yes.
Because some of y'all wear no-show socks, but it's showing, and I'm not feeling that. All right.
Oh my God.
It's gonna start getting hot. So you know what? Maybe take 2 showers. Just freshen yourself up. Carry some wipes, say dab it up under the wings. Whatever you got to do. I'm just saying. I don't want you walking around like all 11 herbs and spices. It's not right.
Buy the pallet of baby powder.
Did you say a pallet?
Yeah, the pallet.
Damn, brother. Damn, that's buying them bulk. Talcum. Is that Talcum's boy? Yeah. Yeah, but seriously, shea butter, folks. I'm be real. Just get the elbows, the knees, get all the Muay Thai points. Get the knees, elbows, and the ankles. The ankles are for real. Like, get around it. Like if you were trying to like undo like the sink drain, like get that pipe from the sink, get them and work it in there. Get it. Use your thumb muscles and get it up in the nooks and crannies.
Wrong, right.
Because for real, some of y'all been out there just kicking flour bags all day and don't care about nothing. Yeah, so that's pretty. Yeah, that's basically it. That's what I'm going to end the joke on. That's what I'm going to end this show on. Is a horrible ashy joke. That's what I'm going to do, because I don't care.
Oh my gosh!
So
it's hurt me back.
on that ashy note, thank you so very much for joining us once again for the Fandom Initiative. Next week's show, we're going to see if we can top that 15. That's
going to do it.
But we might be able to do it. But that 15 that we got today is all because of Cerece Rennie Murphy. Thank you so very much for joining us.
Thank you. Thank you.
Everyone, enjoy the day. Eat something tasty. And as always, because it takes a couple of seconds for this thing to actually end, watch me dance awkwardly as the show goes off. Basically it.
There you go.
There's no music playing. It's all in here.
That's right.
That shoulder action there, because I'm using lotion. That's it. If you're getting this audio, you need to be listening. I'm dancing way too hard because this is starting to feel good. All right, y'all. Peace. I'm out.